Hi, my name's Jen. Today I am standing here chopping up a Hoya croniana black leaves. So I was doing some plant chores, the never-ending plant chores. So on today's episode of that, I will be chopping up some plants. I think Hoyas, have a couple Monsteras, and then I have a moss pole to extend. And I just figured that I'd talk your ear off while I did it. Okay, maybe you can kind of see what's going on down here. Yeah, I'm just chopping stuff up. I don't know. I don't know exactly what I'm doing with what yet. Like how I'm propagating it. I have some moss. I have some stratum. I have water, pond, soil. I don't know. I have all the things. I'm just not real sure what I'm doing and what yet. But yeah, I was already starting to chop this croniana black, I think it was called. This is one of the Hoyas I mentioned recently that some of them had some die off, like just whole vines just quit for whatever reason. And I have repotted that plant and it does seem to be doing better, but just in case, taking propagations. Insurance, for insurance purposes. Why do I feel like I'm all off the edge of the screen? Okay, sorry, I realized that I was all off the edge of the screen for some reason. I can't see that far, and I'm not wearing my glasses because there's a glare. I don't know, it's a whole thing. And I can't see close with my glasses on anyway. It's really hot in here. I still have the mystery Hoya from the last video over there that I had said I was going to chop fully back. I'm going to work on this stuff first, and we'll see how far we get today, because I'm not trying to make... It seems like every video I make here lately is over an hour long. Probably because I just don't shut up and do what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't just jump in and get the work done, so I guess I'll try to do that. Pardon my mess. There's a mess everywhere in here. I have rearranged about half of the room since the last video, and I put it in another light, the Sansi, I call it the Sansi helicopter light. I can't remember the actual name of it. If I can find it, I'll put it on screen. There's also a discount code that I'll put in my description box. I usually don't put it in there anymore because it's been well over a year since I unboxed and reviewed that light. But anyway, it's great. It's very bright. I think I'm getting sunburn here. See what I mean? I talk too much. All right. This croniana, I'm going to bring you closer and point you down. Because it has come to my attention from a few people now that you have no idea what I'm doing, and I've tried to change the settings on this camera, and all it's done is make it so I have to move it 20 feet away to fit anything in the frame. So I don't know. It's a Sony ZV-1. If you know anything about those camera settings, feel free to inform me how to make this more doable. But yeah, we're going to chop this up. We might do some like leaf pairs, just one leaf pair, and then we might do some that have multiple leaf pairs. We'll see how that goes, and I'm just going to set them on this paper towel to dry a little bit so that they're not leaking all over my furniture. Alrighty. Is it a mode thing on this camera? I don't know, function, mode, whatever. Yeah, so let me see if I can get some of this closer to you, because it is thin, even though it's, like I said, it's been repotted, it's been watered. The roots really didn't look that bad. Here, how about we just pick up a whole handful of it? But you can see it's kind of thin. It's just green. This thing was really dark. It was so purple it really almost was black when it was outside in the greenhouse. And it just, you know, it's not doing the most right now. So I'm gonna chop. I'm just gonna chop if I can find the ends. I think I just have 3 vines. One of them is split in a few places. I think it's that one. But anyway, I just have 3 vines here. And I'm going to chop. And I still feel like I'm very far away. Can I zoom in? Okay, perhaps we can see a smidge better now. And I'm just going to cut above each leaf set. Not on all of them, but probably on quite a few, and then I'll include a few leaves on some of the other cuttings. And I'll trim the stems if necessary. I'll probably put some of these in water and we'll just see what happens with those too, because these actually, some of them have quite long spacing. Like, I guess you can see the difference there on those guys. So yeah, some of the nodes are, like the internodal spacing is much larger on these than on others. Oh, and I'm still getting the white goop on the furniture. But yeah, on the longer ones, I'll probably try some in just water. I like to watch things root. Oh, actually I will. I got a new propagation station over here that I've been stuffing. Can you see it? No. It's kind of back here behind these other plants just hanging in the window there. But yeah, I've got some linearis, which I said I was meaning to propagate in there. Some adansonii and marble queen pothos. Boy, this is actually a lot of cuttings just from a couple little vines out of that plant. That's gonna be a lot. Well, that's all right though, because the goal is that if this plant tanks and doesn't do well, to have another plant. I'm gonna leave these ones all together, just one single leaf there at the top. It's cute though. I think, yeah, this one here hadn't split at all. That's just one vine. I'm gonna set that one aside for a minute because this one here is gonna be the pain in the butt. I'm pretty sure, because it had split 1, 2, 3 other vines off of the main vine. Not that you can see. There we go. There. 1, 2, 3, and then the main vine here. So, look, I am pushing these cuttings all over the place. All right. You guys move aside. I'm gonna need more paper towels. All right. I really want to just plunk one of these in there long. Maybe I'll do that. Which one has the longest? Ugh, that one's really tight. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to lose the bottom leaf on it when I strip it to put it in water, but that's, I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do with that. I'm going to leave that, this one here, whole. I'm not cutting that into nodes. Oh gosh, I'm tempted to do a couple that way. You know, just because. Please stop leaking. This looks like it was getting ready to split off anyway here. I might actually... There we go. This little tuft of leaves here, I'm going to leave that all together and just shorten this stem up a bit. And we're going to propagate that like that. I think that'll do fine. Looks weird now, but it won't forever. For me, I'm just throwing stems, bare nodes, whatever, over there. Any leaves that we've lost? I've got a saucer over there that I'm just, pitching things in. Pitching it. I'm still dripping everywhere. Okay, and I got it on my hand. Hoya sap is one that my skin, for whatever reason, finds irritating too. So, why do I feel like I'm so far back? There we go, maybe. Sorry, camera adjustments. Kind of going to do the same thing with this, I believe. Just because it's so close there. Those leaves are so close there. I don't know how I'd actually separate them to get them into anything. The stem, it's very short. So I'm going to leave that in a little cluster as well. The end of this is kind of dried off down here. I'm going to cut that dried end off. I don't know, that's really short. Maybe we'll try that in some pawn or stratum or something. I don't know, I think I am going to leave that alone. Boy, it's dusty. Let's see how it does. I also, whatever I put them in, I'll also put them in a humidity bin, just because the humidity in here isn't bad. Like, it's 52% and it's what, 25, 77 degrees? Yeah, 77, almost 78. So it's pretty warm. There's no heat or anything on, but it was on last night, and I may or may not have overslept and forgot to turn it off this morning, causing it to get up to 82 degrees in the downstairs of my home. I have a pellet stove and it's not on a thermostat. So, these are gonna just be single leafers. No, I'm gonna take 2 single leafers and put those together. These are gonna be single leaf pairs. There's a bare node there. We're gonna cut just above it. I'm not doing any node propagating Hoyas. I have had some luck with it occasionally. More leaf pairs. Then we have all single leaves all the way down. And maybe we'll do that along the line of that one too. What is this? This might be where I cut somebody off, huh? I'm going to cut off that bottom leaf and then we'll do this little vine as it is. I realize I'm holding things halfway off the screen. Framing is not my strong suit. Alright, I'm going to leave them to dry actually a little bit. If I can find something to just kind of toss them into loose to get them out of the way. Okay, I guess we'll put them on a paper towel. I can't actually find anything, so I'm just going to toss them all onto a paper towel and then set the paper towel aside, probably over on the plant shelves behind you. Just to kind of dry off a smidge the cut end. Am I dropping them? I don't think I dropped any. Oh shoot, I forgot there's another vine over here that I'd set aside. This one. So let's deal with him real quick. Which end is which? Alright. There's gonna be 2 nodes on that one. Oh, I've got it on a leaf. Oh, and I cut that really close to that node. Why did I do that? Alright. That one on, oh, I was going to do it again. Did you see me? This one on the bottom's a goner because I cut too close. I mean, I could try to propagate that. It would just frustrate me never wanting to stay where I put it. I always want to cut the wrong end. Okay. Now I'm figuring my life out. That's a shorty. I'll do a couple on that one. This one's longish. So I'm just cutting the top of the vine off because it was drying off anyway up there. And then I've left it, I'll leave it like that, which looks a little bizarre, to be honest. Actually, we do have a naked node in there. Maybe I'll cut that. Yeah. That. Then we'll have a one leafer. A one leafer. That's fine. Okay. So now I'm going to take them and set them aside to dry for a little while we work on something else. And then this is the Hoya Wilbur graves. And there's that bird again. Every video. Somebody's here? Who's she hollering at? Alright, I overheated. But I was saying the Hoya Wilbur graves, possibly China. Here is my next victim. It's just alcohol spray. I'm hitting the scissors. I don't think anything like these Hoya are particularly unwell or anything, but I think it's wise to probably clean them occasionally. So, and I think I'm going to cut this guy pretty well back to the pot. So, and I'll do single leaf sets. I don't know why, but I am going to leave this tendril on the end here. Let me see. Everything's so far away, it doesn't matter how I frame it. It's got to be a setting on the camera itself. But anyway, I'm going to do single leaf sets. And I'm going to leave the tendril on this one. Not that I think it'll do much. Some of them I've had die off in prop boxes or open air, it doesn't seem to matter. And then some of them just keep right on going, wow, there's no white sap coming from this plant. It's like clear. Maybe you can see it. It's just a little bead of clear sap up there. Oh, it's green actually. Like a little green dot. Like clear but lime green. All right. This is going to be a leaf set again. And then this is going to be a leaf set, and that's where I'm going to stop chopping. So that's what we have left there. Oh good, now the battery's going to die. Camera overheats, battery dies, birds scream, things happen in my videos. All right, but that's what I'm working with. It looks like, what, four cuttings. One is a single leaf, and then the rest are double leaf, and one has a tendril. So, yeah. I don't think I need to let these dry too much. I want to go ahead and get them taken care of if the battery doesn't die first. If it does, I guess I'll pause and change the battery. I think I'm going to do stratum in this one. Yeah, sure, why not? I don't know why it's in a container. I guess that this particular bag was empty. Other than whatever's in this container. Maybe that's why it's in there. I'll do the tendril guy because it has a really long stem there. That could actually be problematic for somebody to pot up, or for myself to pot up in the future. Maybe we'll trim that a little bit shorter. We want it to actually fit in a pot someday. I am angling it slightly so that the leaves are facing more upright rather than to the side. Does that make sense? Well, it's that guy. I'm gonna set it aside. I'm gonna let it dry just a little bit, and then I'll water this and just leave a little bit of a reservoir in the bottom there. Where do I set them? I did not think this through. Okay, maybe we'll do this one here. Already has some little bumpies on the stem. There are 23 grow lights in this room now, and it seems dark, at least when I record. Can you see the little bumpies? Maybe. But yeah, so it's probably going to root from those first. The single leaf. Are we going to do that in here? Yeah. And I'm going to angle this guy again just a smidge. Just a smidge. Just so that the leaf isn't facing sort of down. It's the way that it was growing, I suppose, is why the leaves are inclined to face weird directions. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for that guy. Set him aside. Should we do some in some bonsai mix? I actually have some clean bonsai mix. We'll do these two together. Same cup. I say bonsai mix. This is actually, yes, the battery did die. I was saying, I don't know if I caught any of that. This is bonsai mix and pond together. It's been boiled, that's why it's in a Ziploc. I'm just trying to keep the dust and the hair and the whatever out. But anyway, I'm going to put these two cuttings in there together. So I think it'll be fine. It looks dusty, but I swear this has been boiled. Because I had, I think these guys in it. And I was worried about mealybugs because it was next to the other plants that I knew had mealybugs in the roots. Sure, that looks fine. I really don't want to dig my hands all up in there. Why am I being a pansy? I need a cup, a scoop. Found one. I just stole the one out of the leca. But yeah, I'm gonna put these two together. I had asked before if anybody like washed or rinsed their pawn or leca before they used it, and I said that I don't. And this has been boiled, like, and strained, and then rinsed through, and then left to dry, and then put back in the bag, all over maybe a 24-hour period. I don't know. I didn't close the bag right away because it was still pretty damp. But point being, it's still really dusty. It's still really like. That is like dust and debris on the bottom of that bag. So I don't know that it ever really goes away, the dust and the whatever from pawn and whatever. Leca probably, but I don't really wash that either. So yeah, that's that guy. Or gal. I don't know. It's cute. So, and I'll show you all of these after too, so you can see kind of where I stick them. And we'll actually maybe try to find a better angle to show them to you. So, but for now, I'm just gonna set these guys aside, put this guy back, and then we'll move on to the next plant. Okay, they're not getting set very far aside because I don't know where else to put them at the moment. This is the Hoya Hoya Lacanosa Silver Mint, which I had to move just because I was like, you can see some places that look much lighter. And I was just bleaching it. It was too close to the light, I believe. And I twisted it all up on top of itself and then left it that way. Oh yeah, those bleached leaves are starting to fall off. There's one. It was sitting probably next or underneath of like my most powerful grow light, and even turning it down, they were still bleaching. So like, it's pretty, but let me zoom in a smidge. Maybe that's better, I don't know. They're really pretty, but they just don't hang out too long. I'm surprised these are still on there as well as they are. That one gave up though. And I had wanted to propagate this, but these leaves at the ends are probably doomed. You know what I mean? Eventually, they're coming off there, I'm pretty sure. So I might actually leave this guy alone. Actually, this one piece looks pretty good, and it's actually got a bald spot. So that one looks okay, and it has a little bit of new growth at the end. I've probably just caused that to quit, but that's okay. Oop, and we're leaking. So I might not do anything else with this just now. I really don't want to tamper with the bits that have been bleached. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna leave that be. I'll just leave it untangled, I think, so that the leaves that were under there can get some light, some actual normal light. There's another leaf that ejected. All right, I'm putting that back. I had a propagation of this same plant somewhere, which is also bleached. Oh, it's in with other plants. It's in the cabinet over there. There. So I guess I am sticking him off to himself. Let's see. More bonsai mix, because it seems to work pretty good. Or, well, I say bonsai mix, but it's bonsai and pawn kind of mixed together. And I have pretty good luck propagating in that. But from what I can tell, at least this particular brand of bonsai mix, the only difference between that and pawn anyway seems to be bark and maybe some like little clay pieces. I don't know. Either way, which every leaf is going to be upside down. There we go. We'll turn it that way. That way they're not completely upside down. Just the way it was growing, the leaves had twisted to face the light, and I don't want them full on upside down, so I'm trying to manipulate them to face a little bit more upward. I kind of treat bonsai mix like pon also. It's not even going to stay in there. Smaller containers would maybe be better for some plants. Okay, I guess maybe we will try it in stratum because it's just not wanting to stay in that. This is just as light, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Okay. And maybe if I seed it more deeply so it can lean on the cup. Right, does this make sense? Uh-oh. Hold on, I have a little bit more. This is the bag that actually comes in, the stratum. And it's expensive. I get it from PetSmart, I think it's called. Ooh, that's dusty. That is dusty. Maybe that's why the other stratum was in a cup. Maybe I'd rinsed it through once. I forgot how dusty this is. I haven't propagated anything in stratum in a while. Okay, that's cute. Looks very much like the Croniana silver I have. I might want to label that one. I'm pretty sure that is the silver mint lacanosa, so we're going to label it because I can't easily look at that and tell that it's not the Croniana silver. Okay. Messy handwriting, but I guess it gets the point across. Tuck it in there. And set it aside to wait for its turn at the watering hole. This is the Croniana silver. And I didn't really want to propagate this anymore. I should, but I think I'm going to wait. What I had wanted to do actually is I have other propagations of this that I wanted to stick in with it. So let me check those real quick. This is one of the propagations. And it looks okay. I see new growth in there. I guess maybe you can see it. All this light in here, it still seems dark. But anyway, it seems okay, and I propagated it in pon. So, which is dry. Or, well, the cup that it was in is quite dry. Yeah, there's pond mud. But yeah, I just want to, I want it in there rather than having a bunch of different ones sitting around. Let me get my bin that I throw my used pon in. Actually, it's like one of those flower things. And I just throw like a ceramic flower thing, container, flour, sugar, that type of thing. And I just throw used pon in it until I get around to having enough to bother with boiling it. Yeah, more pon mud in the bottom there. So I guess that's what happens when you don't rinse your pon. It's fine. It hasn't seemed to bother anybody. I realize now that I've moved back and zoomed in a little bit, you still can't really see what I'm doing here. Okay, I'm just knocking extra pon off. Got some pretty decent looking roots in there. They all look okay. Yeah. They look alright. Pon all stuck to them. I'm going to try to just fidget this stuff out of the way and jam it down in here. Maybe I might have to dig some of that out, huh? I'm gonna make a mess, 'cause it's what I do best. Okay, I've just kind of burrowed down in there a little bit, and I do want it to face what's going to be the front of the pot. do you think? Will that hold it down in there? It's gonna fall out? We hope not. We hope not. Ta-da! I guess it'll stay. It will as when roots start growing again, I guess, as it finds its place. It decides that it is indeed home. Oh, pollen everywhere. Is that all of the Hoyas that I'm going to mess with? Perhaps. We shall see. I'm getting ready to mess with this Monstera adansonii variegated, which has actually become Monstera adansonii white, with perhaps a smidge of mintiness. I showed it recently, last video I believe. We're gonna dig it out of there. All right. It seems very dry. I think this is a very bark heavy mix that I've got it in. So I don't know, it just seems to dry like crazy. Okay, now I need something for used soil, bark. I found a giant saucer. I usually use it to put like pole plants in before I put them back in their cover pots, because it lets more water out before I put them away, after I water them. Yeah, Monstera adansonii variegated. We'll see how this goes. Nice and chunky. How are the roots? Oh, that one was rotted. Maybe that's what's wrong with it. It's drying out too much, and then when I do water it, it's just rotting. Okay, so that might explain the extremely slow growth of the plant. I don't know, it wasn't much though. As far as what was rotted, oop. Or, you know, damaged. Hold on, I'm eating the microphone. Okay, so I've cut this plant before, trying to make it behave, which didn't work. And it's grown, let's see, on this one piece. Better not get you in here or bring it to you so you can see. I'm just gonna cut it right in there where my finger is jammed to separate it. It has a tiny little bit of root there. Tiny bit. Okay, so I had already cut it there, and that was where a new plant was growing from, where the plant that I just cut. But it has also shot out another one here, and one here, and potentially one down here that has an all green leaf. This is what it does. It just grows white and then turns kind of minty, and then it stays that way. Like, leaves hardly ever die on this thing, but that's not great. It's just minty. And then these are, let's see, it looks like two other plants from here, and these are even, oops, there we go. And these are even more white. But I'm going to go ahead and propagate them. We'll see what happens. I don't think it's going to be great. Yeah. And then this here, I don't know if any of these other nodes that are left here will activate and do anything, but I will separate them as well from this top piece, if I can get the leaf or the root. There we go. Okay, so this is just one and then a couple leaves, but we'll see if any of those other nodes will do anything and behave. This was I swear, this was a normal variegated Monstera when I first got it. I hauled it on the channel somewhere, but yeah. And then this here, I'm going to try to separate this one and this one. I'm just going to take a razor knife or like X-Acto and just slice it right off, even though neither one really has any roots. Should we do moss with these guys maybe? We'll do moss. These roots aren't great. That's what I'm left with on this. Oops, that's what I'm left with on this one. And then this is the stump. Oops, there we go. This is the stump with its little bit of roots. They seem okay, pretty dry. I don't know if they'll do much. I'm debating, do I want to cut them off or leave them and just let them do what they do? I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to leave those. I'm going to put this in. Let's try it in stratum. I think we have enough stratum for that. We'll see what happens. Okay, Okay, so we'll go ahead and do the one that I'm going to try to do in stratum first, the node there. Like I said, I think some of those roots are definitely going to rot. And I'm planting it sideways. I'll show you, but I'm putting it down in here kind of sideways. Ooh, that's dusty. In the hopes that if any of those other nodes activate, they will grow upright and be easy to remove. I didn't have quite enough stratum. I really didn't. I have roots sticking up. But yeah, that's what I mean by sideways, now that it's all dusty. Do I try to cover that with some bonsai palm? Sure, what's it gonna hurt to have a slight layer of that over top of everything else? Chaos Incorporated. Scoop. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna put just a smidge of this on top, just to keep any root that might potentially be okay there on the top of this from drying out, because they were sticking up everywhere. That's fine. We're all tucked in there. We have a nice top coat. All right, set that guy aside. So we're done playing in stratum. Oh, no, do I have any more? No, that was the last of it. Okay, so we're done playing in stratum. And I don't actually know if I will go and buy any more stratum. Which, I mean, it works great, don't get me wrong. But I have had some trouble with some plants transitioning out of it. I can't remember which ones off the top of my head now. What do I have here? 3? I'm going to have 4. And we're going to do those in moss, I guess. We'll try that. Might kill them all, we'll see. I really need you to hang out there and not cause any problems to your neighbors. Alrighty. Alright then. Handy dandy bin of moss. Battery that I forgot to put on the charger. What if I got under there? Oh, I'm making a mess. Alright, so got my little moss cups. I'm just stuffing it in there. There's so much like random dried crusty root in this moss. It came that way out of the bag. I can't remember which brand it was. Probably one I got from Lowe's or Home Depot. Was this one I was cutting? No, I'm not going to cut this guy. I'm going to leave it like it is with its one single green leaf in there. You see it back there? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. This plant, like, it pretty immediately started doing this. Pretty immediately. I think it was like only a 2 or 3 leaf little cutting. Was it rooted? It was rooted when I got it. In what? Pond, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. But it was rooted. And it just pretty immediately started doing this. I've cut it before. I don't know. But I figure, you know, this plant, it does have a lot of white on it. So if I lose it, if it dies, have I really lost anything? I mean, I'm not going to be terribly upset, I guess is what I'm saying to you. I'm just trying, last ditch effort, you know? I figure I'll try something. All right. X-Acto knife. Y'all wish me luck, because I should not handle sharp objects, I'll put it that way, especially pokey sharp objects. I'm just going to kind of try to gently slice them off, even though they have 0 roots. There's that one. Did I lose the outside leaf? Nope, sure didn't. Okay. And then this one. There we go, we're free. Could you see any of that? There we go, because once again, my framing is terrible. So yeah, these are the last 3 pieces here. All white. Terribly, terribly white. All white and starting to fade to green, but still pretty white. And then this here, we were just checking to see if anywhere else would do anything. I'm not sure. I think all the nodes have activated on this particular little bit there. Oops, there we go. I don't know, but we're gonna stick it in there anyway. Live or die. I'm going to go ahead and do that one first since it has a little bit of a root. A tiny rootlet. Anyway, what y'all been up to? I've rearranged this room again. Again. I haven't been up to too much else lately. Been a real homebody. We were supposed to go to Virginia Beach, my husband, my best friend, and I. But he's been working on his boat because crabbing season is coming up. This month, actually. We switched from oystering to crabbing. So, part of his boat, a repair has been completed, so he went to go work on that, pay the man, whatever, the man who did the work for us. So, yeah, it'll be all right. Like I said, it'll live or die. These guys, they have 0 roots, so I don't know how well they're gonna do. I was thinking, I have little teeny pots and little teeny humidity domes. Should I do that? Then I don't have to take up room in like the cabinet or a prop box or whatever. No, because I don't know. Little teeny pots dry out really fast, even in domes sometimes. And that way they keep them all together, I don't lose any. And maybe I won't forget them, lose them, and forget them. Does that make sense? Sorry, I keep pulling it up off the screen. This framing is weird for me to work in like one particular area. I keep wanting to pull it back and up. Maybe I should move this. If I had the camera lower, maybe and shooting across, maybe I'll try that. Because I still have stuff to do. Okay, I'm not sure if this will be better or worse, but yeah. There's that guy. Move him over here. This moss is already pretty damp. I just kind of store soggy moss all over my house. Bins of it, so that I, you know, if I need to do something in a hurry, I don't have to wait a half an hour for some moss to soak up some water. And I haven't had any ill effects just leaving it around wet. Except for occasionally I'll find a chunk that really hasn't hydrated. But that's fine, I just throw it back in there. I've never really had any problems with like mildew or algae growing on them. Because I just hydrate with water to, you know, hydrate the moss. I just dump water in there, just plain water. Don't add anything weird to it. No nutrients. I don't mean anything weird. I just mean no nutrients or anything like that that would cause anything to grow in there or help anything that wants to grow in there grow. So those are those guys. Wish me luck with them because this plant has been a pain in my... Yep. Trying not to swear at y'all today. Trying to keep it PG. I'm not a very PG person, but I'm trying. I'm trying. Alright. Now I have Monstera lechleriana, which is giving me the same problem. All white new growth. Just showed this plant, so I'm not going to linger on explaining. I haven't had this one long, but it pretty much did the same thing, just immediately decided to be white. But I do see some variegation lower down on the stem. Like, there is even some in the... Gosh, why am I doing that? I can't seem to keep the plant in frame. I was gonna say, in the stem, I see variegation. Let me knock some more of this dirt off before I dangle it over the floor over there. The roots look okay. Some of them have gotten kind of dry and rehydrated too, it looks like, or couldn't rehydrate after they got that dry. I really like either really barky or really muddy mixes lately, and I don't have many plants that want straight bark or that are happy in mud. So actually I have none that are happy in mud. This is just a piece of dead petiole that was still stuck on there. Is that rot? No. So that is what the stem of the plant is kind of looking like. There's some green in there. Even where it's white, there's a little bit of green. Just, that's not ideal. That's not what we're looking for at all. So I'm going to cut that whole piece off. And once again, I will put it in moss anyway. I don't know why. It's not got any roots, and I'm pretty sure it's going to die, but we're here. Has it grown from there yet? No. Alright, so I'm going to cut it pretty close to this empty petiole. There we go. I think this leaf is one that just died off already. Or this petiole. I think it was a leaf there. Alright, so that's all white. I have no hope for it. Like I said, it's the tiniest bit of, not focusing, tiniest bit of green in there. The tiniest. But like I said, I really have no hope for it. I'm just going to do it anyway because I'm here. And we're going to put it right in moss. I really prefer moss, I think, for aeroids, and then like semi-hydro or soil or something like that for Hoyas. I definitely prefer soya. Soil for like cactus and succulents and like jungle cactus, ripsalis, things of that nature as well. I just water it like I normally would, even while it's propagating, and it works really well. Okay, now this bit. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 places where potentially this plant might grow from. No, maybe 4. So yeah, let me get rid of this dirt bin. All right, I think I'm going to cut the, am I going to leave those nodes attached to this for now? I think I am, but down here further where it's covered with soil, I'm actually going to cut in between there and try to leave some roots. And we're going to see what happens with that. I'm going to try to leave some roots on both pieces. Okay. So that there, I don't know if anything's going to come of that. Like this here is the spent node, but there's a tiny bit in there where the plant had come from, and there's a couple of nodes there. So I don't know. I'm going to try it. And then this here is the other piece that I separated there. And it's got a couple of bare nodes at the top. I'm hoping one of those will reshoot, and then we'll worry about separating it out later when we see if it's worth bothering with. Because, yeah, I don't know. I am going to go give this a rinse because I'm going to put it in moss. So I'm going to just get rid of the extra soil that's still dangling there on those roots. Okay, so that's not perfect, but that's what I'm left with after giving it a good rinsey rinse. And like I said, we're just going to stick it in some moss. In the mouse. And hopefully it does something desirable. We hope. There's a piece of shredded plastic in my moss. Where does that come from? The plastic that's in... Why am I always off the camera? I'm sorry. Where does plastic come from in the moss? Like, I've had shredded strips of white and red, like, plastic in moss. And I don't know why that would possibly be in there. Unless they too are recycling moss before they package it up and ship it off to us. They too? I mean, like, you know, whatever companies package up and ship out moss. But yeah, so that's that guy. Looking alright. Little thing. Oh, it was so pretty when I first got it. It was really white even though, even when I first got it. So, I don't know. Alright, and then this thing, where do we put that in? Because that's a hot mess. Is it worth bothering with? I can't really see under the dirt. I think there's a couple nodes in there. Much smaller amount of soil, maybe. I'm gonna get a little pot and we're gonna stick it in soil. I don't know. Okay, I found a dirty little pot, and that's what I'm gonna put it in. My soil is off camera over there, but it's the same stuff I always use. Same stuff. Let me cover this up before I go ahead and injure myself. I have to go get stitches today. I'm gonna cut off the end of that. Actually, it's taking care of itself. Alright. I'm just gonna leave the very, very tip of that green sticking up. Just the very tip. Just the tip. That's what she said. No, that's what he said for sure. Alright, that is the least impressive thing. Can you see just the tip sticking up right there? That's it. And I'm gonna water it as usual, and we'll see how it goes. But I probably will keep it in either the tent or the cabinet. I don't know. We'll see. Now we're gonna let me forget all about these guys. This is that croniana black that we set aside to dry. I'm probably gonna go ahead and stick all of that in one of these cups with bonsai/on mix. I have generally had pretty good luck doing that. I've lost it. Oh. I didn't know where I put my handy dandy bag of it. Alright, so we'll see how many fit in a cup, because I got carried away, I guess, and did a bunch. Let's do the long ones first. We'll do them all together. Oops. So that's going to be 1, 2. That's not very long, but we'll go ahead and stick it in there anyway. Actually, that's going to have to go next round. 3. It's got a short stem. There's a long one. All right. I'm up here sneezing, and I keep pausing the camera. Excuse me. My bird is downstairs mocking me. He's sneezing at me. I figure y'all don't need to hear me sneeze and sniffle and, you know, all that. That's gonna look ridiculous. It's fine. It's fine. Which way does this go? Wow, that's short. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these leaves off the bottom just to make my life a little bit easier. And the cobwebs off the plant. I think we're gonna end up doing a few cups of this. So this might be the first one. Looking a little bizarre, but it's fine. It'll be fine. Set that aside for a word, or I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. I do have some more bonsai mix somewhere that's just new. And I figured, which way is it up? And I figured I'd use the stuff that I just already boiled and rinsed and whatever first. And use that up before I open another bag. This is one of the single leaves. It's so cute. Ridiculous, but cute. This is a longer one. Or, well, the stem isn't any longer, but the vine itself is. Lord, I didn't really pay attention to how many of these it was going to be. It's like I have no idea how many I actually cut, but it was a few. It was a few. Oh, look them in. Oops. It's really tucked. Okay. That one. And, oh gosh, I hope it's only one more. Because then I have to find room for all these propagations. I'm pretty sure they'll all fit in the bin. It's a pretty good sized bin that I've got. Which I need to go rinse out when I'm done here. I don't know what the heck I had in it, but it's like, oh, I was watering plants in it. I was bottom watering some stuff. Because the tub was already occupied with plants on poles, and I just wanted to get my watering done, so I was cheating. But I don't think there's anything wrong with cheating. You have to do what makes your life work. What works for you, right? What makes your life livable. And it was one of those days when that was what it took to make my life livable. Alright, we're going to end up with one more, actually. I don't want them overstuffed either, because then they'll just be a mass of roots all tangled together by the time I get around to repotting them. Or sending them out, or, you know, whatever the case may be here. And it's a lot easier if it's not a whole root cake. Okay, that one. Everybody tucked in? Everybody happy? I need more cups. All right, I'll be back after I go find more cups. At least one more, maybe several, I don't know. They're up there already. God, I'm dumb. Hi, Cuddle. Lord have mercy, I went all the way downstairs to get these cups, and they're in the drawer of this counter that I've moved up here. And while I was down there, I forgot to get a drink. So I just literally ran down there and then immediately back up for nothing. Accomplished nothing. All right, this is going to be the last one of these guys. Hoya croniana black leaves. This plant really loved it. Oops, in the greenhouse this summer. It flowered in there like profusely, just nonstop. Flowers, flowers, flowers. Which was lovely. I'm pretty sure they just look like any other Lacanosa croniana type flower. Which doesn't offend me. I don't think I have any, well, no, I have pictures on my Instagram maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I know I have some Hoya flowers posted on their blooms. Yeah, this is going to be the last cup of these dudes. I'm not the most active on Instagram or really any social media. I think I have it all, most of it, but I just don't post much. I lurk plenty, I guess. I'm a lurker. I think I have like a short attention span. I don't know, because I don't really interact a whole lot on most social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. I can't sit still long enough to really bother with it. And then, you know, like I asked not too long ago if anybody had any show recommendations. Nobody recommended one, not one. But anyway, I don't watch much TV either. I don't sit much. It's like, I would love to sit. I would love to, I just don't. I'm a twitchy person by nature. I've got to get up and do something. I don't like to be idle. Sorry, I just see a little dangly bit there. All right, so we've got a bunch of weird looking Hoya cronianas. They will grow in and they will be the most magnificent and beautiful things ever. They will. How long have we been recording? I think I'm probably already at about an hour. So I guess we'll do a part 2 of the never-ending plant chores to get to the pole extensions and the other Hoyas that I'm chopping completely up. So I guess let me water these guys, get that propagation, that prop box, it's a tote, get that situated, and then I will show you what everything looks like. Okay, I found the prop box, and I might have even found the correct lid that goes with it. I'm just going to set these guys in the floor of my guest room, because I have one now. All of my young people have moved out, so I'm just sticking them in here, and I will show you what they look like once they're all in here. I feel like I'm missing some. So that's what they're looking like in there. I just watered this one because I forgot it was in soil and it has drainage holes in the bottom. So I had to water that in there rather than on the top of my counter. But yeah, that's everybody. And yay, I have room to do the other Hoyas that I wanted to do. I think there's 2. I know there's definitely one that I wanted to chop down completely, possibly 2. We'll see. But yeah, I'll show you where they're going to live. Okay, and that's kind of where they're living. They're just kind of hanging out in the box with a light. No, that bulb does not get hot. It is a plant light. I couldn't tell you how effective it is, but it's there. It's just a clamp light, which I took down out of the plant room recently. So yeah, they're just kind of living there for now in the floor of the guest room, which has also become a place where I'm sticking plants that are currently being quarantined and treated. Spider mites, both of those. I was acting like I had to stick all the plants in the plant room, and I had to take some out just because I have a whole house. Why do I have to put them all in one room? It was too much in there, so some are in here now. Okay, and then I told you I kind of rearranged in here, so the cabinet was there. It's on this side of the window now. I hung the Sansi helicopter light that I can't remember the name of up there. I got some plants up there now because they can actually get some light. Well, the pothos there, Mandula pothos, that's been there. It's just enjoying actually getting some light now. I put that light bar up there. There was clamp lights on the TV bracket. I've taken them off. That's on the lowest setting, and it's still pretty bright. It was in there. I've changed it out for something slightly less aggressive, and also that light that's in there now puts out less heat. That one's from Harbor Freight. Still a mess in this corner, always. Always. It's chaos corner. But yeah, some of the poles have been moved around a little bit since the last video. But yeah. And then back there behind the light and the tripod is where I was just standing to film. And although everything's pretty much the same on this side, just some of the poles have traded places just because they're over here enjoying some front-facing light. But yeah, that's on my hit list to chop up. That one there's the one that needs an extension. It's the Florida green. So yeah. But that's it. That's what I had. Mostly Hoya chores, Hoya and Monstera. It was Hoya and Monstera day. I guess the next go around is Philodendron and Hoya day. On episode 97 of the never-ending plant chores, Hoya and Monstera. But yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna let this camera cool down and I'm gonna go wander off and find something else to do. Maybe I'll clean up my mess first because I've made a mess again. All the time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me, and come back and check me out again soon. Bye.